2026 SummerSlam Night 1. It's the Icon back with a wrestling review for you, going over that SummerSlam. And I swear to Christ, when it comes to wrestling, I got to stay off the internet because y'all be wild. Especially on threads. Like, y'all be going crazy on threads. And I'm like, y'all complain about everything. Like, literally complain. Like, everybody complains about everything to the point where even if WWE actually gave you the thing that you wanted, you'd still be mad. Think of how it was presented to you. But like I said, before we get started, hit that notification bell. Check out my other reviews as I have other stuff on my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I did a wrestling review. I actually got pissed off because when Kendall Gray won the NXT Women's Championship, like, I didn't even review that show. That's how mad I was. And then I went on vacation. I got married, did some other stuff. And now we's back, baby, going over the wrestling for Night 1. And I said, before we get started, hit that notification bell, like and subscribe, and let's get started because once again we had a 3-hour pre-show with no matches, and the show didn't start with the Hell in the Cell. I thought the show was going to start with the Hell in the Cell. Come to find out, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. First of all, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes should have main evented Night 2 of SummerSlam, because Rollins versus Roman is not a bigger match than Cody and CM Punk. But then CM Punk and Cody, they didn't even get to main event Night 1 of SummerSlam because Night 1 belonged to Brock and Oba, which kind of actually says that Brock is retiring because it's his hometown and they gave him the main event, because if Brock's not the main event, he always goes on first. So when he didn't go on first, I thought that was weird. So the show started with Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. Everybody and their mama wanted Io Sky to win. And in the beginning, like after the Queen of the Ring, like I thought Io was going to win too. But then as the story progressed and as the weeks progressed, I actually realized, I was like, no, they're going to keep the belt on Liv. And it's like because of the complaining on the internet about how she, rightfully so, I will say that she never defends her championship. And I've after a while, I was like, you know what, they're going to play into the hatred that she's getting on social media. And then she's going to retain the belt to piss the people off even more, because that's how you build a heel. So, and then because Io had already won like the Queen of the Ring, I was like, they're not going to have her beat her back to back. And anybody that thought Stephanie Valkyrie was going to show up, you did that to yourself. See, and that's the thing. That's the problem. There are things in wrestling that we want to see. There are things that there are outcomes that we want. There are returns that we want. But the problem is, just because you didn't get the thing that you wanted doesn't mean the match or the show was bad. Like people get too emotionally wrapped up in the thing that they wanted. You know, obviously there are things that are just dumb and doesn't make sense, but if you were just like, oh, Stephanie Valkyrie's coming back, nobody said that. Like you did that to yourself, and she didn't come back. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez showed up. They interfered in the women's match, and in the end, Liv Morgan, she went to hit an Oblivion on Io Sky. Io actually front flipped out of the Oblivion, and then she started dancing around like a fool, and then Liv, kicked her in the face and then hit another Oblivion, and then she pinned her. And I was like, good for your dumbass, because the thing about Io Sky, everybody's like, oh my God, she's so amazing, but her attitude, like, she's a fucking child. Like, watching her and then like she oversells, like when she took one hit from Liv Morgan, and then she just like threw her hands in the air and like fell back. Like, this isn't a cartoon. Like, she's too goofy. Like, she needs to be more serious. Like, take your moments. Like, take your goofy moments when Liv is like down and isn't getting up anytime soon. She was doing goofy shit like in the midst of, like the back and forth, and it cost her. Like I said, like too much celebrating, too much pointing to your head like an idiot, and like, it cost her. And like Liv retained the championship. I said, I don't know if Naomi coming back, and again, everybody that says Naomi coming back, if she don't come back, you did that to yourself. Why? Like at this point, she's not going to come back because she was the women's world champion. This was her moment to come back. So if she didn't come back, she's not coming back. At least not no time soon. So Liv Morgan retains the Women's World Championship. Like I said, in the end, I do feel like that was the right outcome. We'll see who her next challenger is, if they got somebody lined up for her. And then, like I said, but other than that, we're moving on, and we're all in trouble. The next match up was the 6-man tag between the Bloodline versus LA Knight versus Royce Keys versus Solo Sikoa. And I do have to say, like, Solo Sikoa is growing on me as a babyface, because he was making fun of, like, everybody's shit. Like, he was making fun of the Yeet. He ran it back and was making fun of him. He was making fun of, like, the Jacob Fatu. He's actually a pretty funny dude. But Royce Keys had a good showing. The people still haven't warmed up to him yet, but that'll come once Royce Keys has a feud with somebody that the fans actually care about. Then Royce Keys will he'll get bigger on the map. But but in the end, due to a Samoan spike, to the throat, LA Knight was able to hit the BFT, and I was surprised. I thought the Bloodline was going to go over, but the good guys, the faces actually went over. LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa. Jey Uso took the pin. So obviously when if Roman shows up on Monday, he's going to have something to say like to his minions, and he's going to be like, "Oh, you didn't get the job done." I mean, eventually we got to do Roman versus LA Knight because and they said this on commentary. Michael Cole is horrible, by the way, but they said this on commentary. They said that LA Knight is like trapped in a bloodline vortex, and at this point, the next step needs to be for him to fight Roman because Roman's obviously going to beat Seth Rollins tomorrow. So just do Roman versus LA Knight and get him out of like this mid card bloodline shit. But decent 6-man tag. Can't complain about that. We're moving on. Next, we got Nick Aldis versus Gunther, and I should have known Nick Aldis was probably going to wrestle this year when they put him in WWE 2K26. Like, Nick Aldis is actually in the game as a playable character. And that should have said something. But to his surprise, he did look tired at one point. Like, when the match first started, him and Gunther did like one set of offense. Gunther went to the out. They traded a couple of moves back and forth. Gunther went to the outside, and then when the camera panned on Nick Aldis, he was breathing like he wanted to die. Mickie James and their son, they were front row. They were there. I thought Mickie James was going to get more involved than she actually did, but Nick Aldis, like, he put respect on his name. Like, he got 2 or 3 different "you still got it" chants. You know what I'm saying? Like, his offense looked good. Those Gunther chops, though, like, them shits is brutal. Like, this shit is brutal. But I mean, it was awesome to see Nick Aldis pull off what he pulled off, but we all knew he wasn't going to win. Like, we knew he wasn't going to win. He tapped out to the sleeper, and he got a nice standing ovation from the fans. His son was in the ring. Mickey was in the ring. They were there to cheer for him, and the crowd treated it like he was retiring. Like, I don't know if he was retiring, but it was nice to see him back, and it was nice to see him actually in a WWE ring. So kudos to Nick Aldis. And I said, if he decides to come back to the wrestling, like, I ain't going to be mad at him, like, if he come back, because he had a good showing. But the question now is, what the hell does Gunther do? Because, I mean, I guess he can go after Punk now, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Friday. Then we had the 6-woman tag. We had Fatal Influence, still don't like Lainey Reed, versus the Bella Twins and Paige. The Bellas and Paige, all 3 of them got individual entrances, like, which was weird. I mean, obviously, everybody on the planet knew at some point Nikki was going to attack Paige. We knew that was coming. It wasn't a surprise to anybody. Paige didn't do anything throughout the entire match, to be honest with you. And then when she finally got tagged in, she did like 1 or 2 moves, and then she got she got distracted from the outside, and then JC Jane hit that spinning forearm, knocked her cold, and then pinned her. So Fatal Influence wins the tag match, and then after the match was over, Brie hurt her shoulder. I think she hurt it when she was outside on the floor up against the stairs. They did 2 things to her. I think somebody did a drop kick to her. The other person did a cannonball to her, and I think she actually fucked up her shoulder, but because she was holding her shoulder throughout the entire match, and even when she tried to get back in it and do some offense, you could tell she was visibly holding her arm. So I think she maybe she popped her shoulder out. We'll see. But after the match was over, both the Bella Twins jumped Paige and beat the shit out of Paige. And it's on one hand, I get it. If you're mad at Paige because she's the one that cost you the tag team championships, and you didn't get a chance to be a tag team champion because Paige lost, that part I get. But one, I wasn't surprised that Nikki was the one who attacked Paige, but I was surprised that Brie attacked Paige. I didn't really see the reason or the point of Brie attacking Paige. And then when the 2 of them left, Nikki looks at the camera and goes, "You think you can take my spot?" And I'm just like, what do you mean take your spot? You're the one that offered her your spot. At WrestleMania, you called Paige and said, "Hey, Paige, I need you to take my spot because I'm injured." Now she's like, "Nobody takes my spot." But I'm like, this was your idea. So the logic behind why she's mad at Paige doesn't make sense. Anyway. So, and then everyone's predicting, the Bellas are going to fuck with Paige for a little bit, and then eventually Paige is going to call AJ Lee, and we're going to get AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bella Twins. I mean, everybody sees that coming a mile away, but I don't have a problem with it. Like, it's a callback to the last time they were all in the ring together. So I said, it's like people just bitching about it, like, oh, it's so predictable. Well, no shit. But just like, but just enjoy this one. Like honestly, when it comes to Paige and the Bellas, are we looking for 5-star match classics? Are we looking for them to capture heavyweight championship gold? Like, there are some things where it's just like, just take what you're given and just enjoy the nostalgia. Like I said, and it was good for Fatal Influence that they got a win, that they got a big win on a big stage. So kudos to them. JC got the pin. So kudos to her. And like I said, so now we're just waiting to see when they pull the AJ Lee trigger with Paige and the Bella Twins. And then second to last match was the WWE Championship match, Chick Magnet Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out with the Guile hair on his skull helmet. He also came out to the Guile theme music, and I'm here for it. Like, I fucks with Cody Rhodes. Like, a lot of people were crashing out over that too. They were just like, oh, we're tired of Cody. Yeah, but y'all was tired of Roman. Y'all were tired of Punk. Y'all were tired of Gunther. And this is the problem with the internet. It's like, y'all be asking for shit, and then as soon as y'all get it the next day, like, oh, we hate. It's like, oh, we want you to win the belt. Then once they win the belt, oh, we hate you now. You've had it for too long. But it's like, it's only been 24 hours. Like, yeah, just be bitching. So I said, so like, and then it's like logic. If you've been watching wrestling, and this is why, like, a lot of people that bitch on the internet, you can tell they've only been wrestling fans for like the past 3 or 4 years, because CM Punk just won the the WWE Championship. He just won the belt. He was not going to just win the belt and then drop it to Cody Rhodes in his very first title defense. He's not Sami Zayn. Like, he's CM Punk. So you should have already known that was going to happen. But with that being said, the two of them slugged it out. It wasn't a technical masterpiece. It was actually like a physical encounter. But then towards the end of the match, Randy Orton showed up. He RKO'd Cody Rhodes. Punk took that cheap pin. Punk got the pin off of him, and Punk retained the championship. Where's Orton been this whole time? It's nice to see Randy. It's nice to see young Randall like back in action. So he's back. He's going to be in the mix. So it looks like Cody and Orton's going to be doing their thing for a little bit, which means Punk is probably going to fight Gunther now. Sami Zayn's still going to be crashing out. We'll see what happens when that whole thing concludes. But like I said, good match. Good match by both of them. It's a good interference and everything. And like I said, we'll see where all this transpires on Friday Night SmackDown. And then finally, the main event in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Brock Lesnar's hometown, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar in a Hell in the Cell match. Paul Heyman got to do his entrance one last time for Brock Lesnar. I mean, at this point, it's obvious that Brock's going to retire. He bust out the tombstone, and everybody was like, oh my God, he kicked out of the tombstone. I'm like, well, that wasn't the Undertaker doing the tombstone. Like, it was Brock Lesnar. And like I said, Oba kicked out. The two of them slugged it out. There was no blood in the match, which I thought semi-hurt the match a little bit by not having any blood or somebody being busted wide open. But the right outcome happened. Obafemi hit the fall from Grace. He got the pin on Brock Lesnar, and Obafemi retired Brock Lesnar. When the match was over, Brock Lesnar got back in the ring, and Oba just looked at him like he was going to fight him again, and then Brock stuck out his hand. Oba was like hesitant to shake his hand, and then Brock just embraced him and hugged him, and I was just like, are you gonna F5 him now? And I think like that's what was going through Oba's mind. Oba was like, if I shake your hand, are you gonna pull me in for an F5? and then Brock grabbed the microphone. He told Minneapolis, Minnesota, he said that, he's the past. He said Brock is the future. He was like, Brock, he made it perfectly clear. He was like, stop asking for me. Stop saying I'm the man. Stop calling me the Beast of Carter. I'm literally telling you to your face, he's better than me. He's the next guy. I'm telling you to root for him now because he's the next Brock Lesnar. So anybody that got a problem with Oba, I mean, just hating at this point. Like, Brock said it out his own mouth. He didn't have to do the whole taking off the gloves, taking off the boots thing because he did that shit at WrestleMania. But he did get to speak to the crowd. He did get to address, like his hometown one last time. Like I said, he embraced Oba. He passed the torch. Like, he raised his hand just like they did for him back in the day. So that was nice to see. That was how this show ended. And thank you for tuning in. So now I need Obafemi to beat Roman Reigns for this WWE Championship because Oba is owed a championship match. Because he won the King of the Ring. If they don't give him that match, that's bullshit. I think that's 100% complete bullshit. But share your questions, comments, and concerns down below, and let me know what you thought about Night 1 of SummerSlam. Like I said, I didn't have a problem. I thought it was a solid show. Like, I thought the show was solid. Like, I said, it had good matches. No titles changed hands. It's like, it's not the Danhausen shit we're going to get tomorrow. But, tomorrow, I'm only really looking forward to the women's ladder match. Oh, and actually, I'm looking forward to the Chad Gable match, and the women's ladder match. Those are the two matches I got my eye on. I was like, I fucks with Trick Williams, but I would have much preferred Trick versus Mello than Baron Corbin. But like I said, I'm still going to tune in for my boy Trick Willie. But like I said, Chad Gable and the women's ladder match is really the only thing I care about tomorrow. But I'm going to bring you tomorrow, SummerSlam Night 2. I'm going to bring it for you right here on Red Eyes Entertainment. So, like I said, check out my other reviews because I got Batman Cape Crusader up on my YouTube channel for you Prime fans. For you Marvel fans, I got X-Men 97. For you DC fans, I got My Adventure with Superman. Check out my second YouTube channel, Bright Eyes Media, where I have a whole bunch of new fashion shows that I went to because it was New York Swim Week last week. So check out Bright Eyes Media for that. And like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow when we go over Night 2 of SummerSlam. So that was it, guys. Take care. So till tomorrow for some more SummerSlam action. It's hot, but we still out this bitch.